Okay, so I guess I'm gonna do this video, huh? Let's get into it. Okay, so before we start, disclaimer, I have pups, so if you start hearing some type of weird noises or whatever, that's what's kind of going on in the background. So just a heads up. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this the best way I believe I can do it. So Bossy Kennels, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of them, know of them, uh, especially for the normies. They are one of the most popular kennels that is out. It's been out for a little while now. They're known for big pit bulls, bullies, however you want to classify them. But in my opinion, what they're really known for is their tricolors. Their dogs being in tricolor suits, if that makes any sense. I believe they're stationed out in somewhere in Cali. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, Bossy Kennels. Bossy Kennels is owned by Catherine Sher. I don't know how to pronounce her name. There's no diss to her by any means whatsoever, but it is owned by her. From what I understand, I believe she started her kennel back in 2009. Her foundation male was Arnold the Terminator. Pretty nice Gotti line dog. Not the Dax Gotti line, but the original OG Gotti gray line dog. From the pictures and stuff that I've seen about him, and just different little talks, he's a pretty nice dog. Was he a legend? Nah, I wouldn't say so. But my standards for legends, of course, is different. As a matter of fact, I will probably be making a video in the near future about the differentialities of legends and just dogs that are popular. So we'll watch out for that. I digress, though. To get back on topic with Catherine, Bossy Kennels, whatever, they have become exceedingly popular throughout the years, just on how the way they've, the different little ways of how they dominated the internet's first. Their marketing's pretty good. Their pictures are all nice, and their dogs are seemingly good. At the end of the day, I mean, yeah. So this video isn't really to go, in a sense, on the brand of Bossy Kennels, though what I'm going to be talking about will kind of end up, inadvertently, mesh together. But I had this question asked to me recently, and it was funny because I mentioned this before when I was doing did a little trial and error podcast and little series on Instagram. Rest in peace to Bully Talk. But I had asked this question before, but it was really, I had saw this, I think it was a person I was following, and I had saw this question, and it kind of like gave me more of an idea of making this video. I'm hoping this video is short. It might not be, but I wanted to ask this question, and hopefully I would hope that this question has at least been asked by any of you guys, or just thought about at all by any means. And that question is, what is Bossy Kennels' bloodline? And it'll make sense of why I'm asking this later in the video. But anyway, I believe that the consensus will probably be, hey, that's easy when you're looking into these pads, or anybody who does research these pads. It's like, okay, I'm looking in it. It seems to be just a build of, kind of their own branch, in a sense, of a prime yard blood. Which I can kind of see that, because you can really see that in the dog's blood. They're just, in my opinion, just, in some cases, bigger versions of some of the prime yard females and males that came before them. Which is why I would say, in a sense, they're just consistently more colorful prime yard dogs. At the end of the day, I don't, yeah. But as to why this question was really asked, that I'm starting to kind of see, is that in the traditional sense of when you're asking, what bloodline are these dogs, you don't really see, like, say for instance, a dog that's really popular over there now these like that is picking up a lot of steam. It's picking up steam for about, I guess, maybe now 2 years, 2.5 years, maybe. I don't know, but I would say at least 2.5 years is a Good Bar. Now, Good Bar is a son off of Willy Wonka. I don't remember the mother's name, but yeah, Willy Wonka. Now, here's the thing: when referring, if I'll give you an example. If you were to get a pup off of Good Bar, and someone was to ask you, what's the bloodline? What would they say? I've always wondered this or whatever like that. And from what I've seen and what I've heard, it's more or less that, well, Good Bar is a bossy dog. But from what I'm seeing, Bossy isn't really, in a sense, a bloodline. It's more of a brand. Which at the end of this, at the crux of this, is really what I'm trying to get at. From what I've seen, and in my opinion, I believe that Bossy is more of a brand than it is a bloodline, because I don't really see. I've never had a conversation with anyone saying, "Oh man, it's this blood, it's that blood," from out of their millions of dogs that they have. Not got a lot of nice dogs too. Just saying, but yeah, that's always been. It's always struck me as a little strange, if that makes any sense. Now, the only consistent line that I kind of really see when it comes to Bossy Kennels, and this is just me, is can't even think of his name at the moment. It's losing me. I'm sorry, Markov. Now, Markov has a son named Willy Wonka. Believe I got that right. Willy Wonka, and then Willy Wonka has a son named Good Bar. Now, earlier in the video, speaking of Good Bar, and this is the only consistent line that I kind of really see, that they go from, you have the grandsire, the sire, and then the son that's out right now doing his thing. Like, Willy Wonka is still having litters, if I'm correct. I believe he's still having litters. Where you kind of really see that this line is very active, in a sense, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't really see like a Lucy son or this or that. In a sense, it's like, this is the line that I see that they're really marketing, in a sense, if not intentional. But this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time when it comes to in a term, in a sense, internet blood. This is a thing. This is basis for another topic for another video. But basically, I wanted to bring this up, and that I see a lot of dogs that are marketed for this year, almost in a sense like internet blood. It's like trend blood. This is the trend for now, right? Like, say for instance, do I think that what's his name? I can't even think of the dogs. I can't even think. Good Bar. I'm sorry. Do I think that Good Bar will still be as big as he will be 2 years from now? I don't know, and I don't really think so as much, if that makes any sense. I don't really think so. I think that he's a pretty good trend for right now, at the moment. I mean, when you're looking at a lot of these dogs, some of the dogs that they've had in the past, or collaborated with, they're nowhere near as big as they were 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, some not even a year ago. And that comes to the crux of, I guess, trend blood. It's it's a different thing. Like their two biggest dogs right now, at the time of this recording, is Jumanji and Good Bar. And I'm hoping, I'm most likely going to be still doing YouTube videos a year from now, maybe even 2 years from now, hopefully. I would love to, come back on here and look and see what would be the, their newest one, in a sense, and I want to see that, if it is to the point where, they're not jumping to a whole different line, in a sense, but they're staying with this one right here, then boom, okay, Good Bar had his time of being in the spotlight. They produce a nice, good, well-rounded son or a female or whatever it is, that the route they go with that blood in particular, and do something next with it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then it's just like, it's the next starting of this. It's the next starting of that. There's no consistency with it. And that brings up the biggest thing. Bossy doesn't really even have a look, if that makes any sense. If someone was to say Big tries is Bossy's look, there's like 50 kennels that have that, right? And some that produce them bigger than Bossy. May not be as always correct, but produce them big, as big as Bossy or bigger than Bossy. But that's the thing that I've been, this is kind of what I've been kind of thinking about. I know this really sounds very disjointed, but it is what it is. The whole thing is disjointed at the end of the day. Okay, now to kind of change pace with a couple of more of my opinions about Bossy Kennels. I think Bossy Kennels is a pretty decent kennel. I think also that they kind of give certain people, it has this money stigma around them. Something that I've kind of noticed where, give you an example. If someone feels as if, like, say for instance, because Bossy Kennels prices, they're up there. I mean, they're one of the biggest kennels. They're up there. One thing I've noticed is that some people, not even some people, I've seen this a lot. This is the one thing that I think that I don't even use this word like at all. This may be my first time ever using this word, but I think it'll make it easier to understand. I guess toxic. I can't even. I barely can say toxic behavior is kind of created when it comes to Bossy Kennels with certain people at certain times. Not that Bossy Kennels is toxic or whatever like that, but you can create people in a certain way. Like I've seen a lot of people who may just be starting to kind of get into this game, and I'm relatively still new. At the end of this year, at the time of this recording, it had been 4 years I've been in this thing. But anyway, one thing that I see is just that, if a person feels as if with them that I've seen, and, other kennels, but predominantly with them is what I'm trying to get out, is that you'll have people that'll be just like, hey, look, I spent $10K on this dog, I'm the next biggest thing because you spent a lot of money. And, it's just a little strange to me. I don't think that people understand that really in a lot of cases means nothing. Now, a thing that I can say about Bossy Kennels, another big thing, is that out of a lot of the major kennels like BGK, DDK, I'm gonna just use these three at the time right now. Bossy Kennels is pretty consistent from what I've seen when it comes to health testing. That is something that I think is kind of overlooked when it comes to these dogs, especially these people, these kennels that are selling dogs for, a huge amount of money, right? They are actually health testing. They're showing the results. They're sharing the results. They're letting people know that, hey, look, my dog, he may have a big name, but he's also big in health as well. I think that that's very commendable. Like, honestly, I really do. I'll give them credit with that. That is a big thing. Another big thing is that from what I understand, and I don't think she's as up to speed as she used to be, but out of those three, here we go again, she's the only one that goes to shows like Cinco, maybe a show here and there. From what I understand, the other guys, you would never catch someone like the DDK guy, the BGK guy. He said this before. The BGK guy, he doesn't do shows. They don't really care for him. But because she in a sense is a dog celebrity, if that makes any sense. And she's out there, she's doing her thing. And that is another thing that's very commendable. Even though I know that and I'm bringing this stuff up, I know that this is more or less about Bossy blood, which at the end of it, there really isn't a blood. If that makes any sense, I believe that it's more of a trend. What's going to be the hottest thing next? Because I'm telling you, when this Murrow stuff jumped off or whatever like that, they did their thing and they ended up making their Murrow male now, which is Jumanji, which is funny because earlier in the video I did say that Bossy Kennels is known for making big colorful dogs, and they're more known for XLs, right? their main Merle male now, which is Jumanji, he's not XL. He's not. He's not that. He's not that tall, and that shows that showed something to me, especially when I was talking to mentioning that I believe that a lot of the stuff with them is more of a trend in a sense. I'm not saying, and when I say that, I'm not saying that they don't care about their dogs. I don't think that. If you see their facilities, stuff that I've seen on the internet, I can only go off of what I've seen because I'm not going to California. I would never go to California, but from what I've seen, they care about these dogs. The dogs look very nice. So they got to be doing something with them. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. Okay. So before we get out of here, just going over the video that Kat and a couple things that Kat or Catherine, however you want to say it, and the BGK duo, they did an interview I think about a year or two ago, and just I guess going a little bit over her history and stuff like that. And one thing that she said that like really stuck out to me, which kind of like ties this whole shit like in a nice good knot, is that she's not into inbreed. I'm not either, but she also mentioned that she's not really into inbreed, line breed, any of that. She's more into outcross, and that's what she prefers. That right there, in a sense, like really signified everything that I've been, thinking, saying, or whatever like that. But just hearing her say that, it's just like, well, damn, this is really what I've been, kind of what this whole video is. And, yeah, I mean, if you look at the pedigrees, it proves it. I don't even think I've seen a Bossy Kennel dog inbred by any means necessary. If someone else takes it, like if someone else is, of course, behind the breeding or whatever like that, I think you may see a line, you'll see a lot of the lines kind of like together connected or whatever like that. But other than that, if she's doing it, I haven't, so far since I've been in, because I'm on there, I'm looking in a sense. I haven't seen it, and kudos to her, because there's benefits, as there's positives and negatives to everything. There's I'm not as sciencey when it comes to inbreeding, but I have the little basics or whatever like that with the just strengthening the line and all that type of jazz, and but then for males especially, that they won't produce as much semen as they could because they're inbred. It's something, and I don't even really want to get into it because I know I'll get a lot of comments talking about what the heck are you so you look that up for yourself. But no, yeah, I thought that was just so telling, because it's just like, it's already not a really strong line to begin with. Not to say, and that doesn't say that the dogs themselves aren't good-looking dogs. Like, for the umpteenth time, I'm saying they have good-looking dogs, but their dogs. Here's the one thing: their dogs don't have a look. They have good-looking, no-looking dogs. If that makes any sense. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not trying to make a 30-minute video about Bossy Kennels. At the end of the day, I think they're a pretty nice kennel. I haven't seen really any bad dealings or heard of any so far. I haven't heard of any, and that's pretty nice too, because Bossy Kennels is pretty franchised in a sense. There's Bossy Kennels West, Bossy Kennels this, Bossy Kennels that, with different people taking using the name in a different part of the country or whatever like that. And I've still never heard of any bad stuff, and they seem to keep stuff very private to begin with. So that's another good thing, I guess. It's pretty. That is pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much all I wanted to say about them. I think that they're a pretty nice kennel. I think that I think that they're also able to. I think they give people fat heads whenever they get a Bossy Kennel dog, especially if it's a just imagine never having a dog to I don't know, saving $10,000 for a dog, going to buy Bossy Kennel's dog and thinking you're you're a godsend or something like that. It's just crazy to me with that. That is a video in of itself. But yeah, nice kennel, just no look at all whatsoever. Just real big dogs, real big colorful, dogs. That's pretty much it. I still like them though. I still like them. I like any. I like to look at anything they may drop, and it's by design, of course. It's supposed to look good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys coming on out. Yeah, you guys give me drop in the comments of any other videos you guys would like to see. I'm trying to, make these as detailed as I possibly can. I am a very good. I can speak to people like face to face, but when it comes to like recording, I am terrible. But hey, I'm out here. I'm trying. Appreciate anybody who takes the time to actually watch this stuff. Thank you. See you next time. All right, bye-bye.